Ay, coming in, yeah. Flex, I just wanna win, yeah. LABB, who we running with, yeah. 2233, I'm on 10 again, yeah. State your name, been dope on flame. I just switched the lanes. Damn, he did it again. I just flipped the pain. Stripping and dipping in bass, slab on everything. Swimming, you sinking away, cause I got big racks coming. I put my low racks on it. I ain't skip past losses, I had to get back off it. See the fit lab on it until they whip my coffin. Money clip, I tossed it, I heard it's big bags on big bags on big bags coming, coming in, yeah. Flex, I just wanna win, yeah. LABB, who we running with, yeah. 2233, I'm on 10 again. Pump up the action, I'm active. If he never heard of being dope, he just napping. Jackson's off the rapping. Keep it on my body, bitch, I'm broke if you asking. Don't gotta sell it, most of y'all is flawless. Broken whips as long as it is foreign. Heard you want it cause the yam's enormous. What's in since she isn't gorgeous? Live my life, last name of Morgan Freeman. Trying to touch a forest, do not know when knocking on the door is. Came in, I came in, did it like the Porsches. Coming in, yeah. Flex, I just wanna win, yeah. LABB, who we running with, yeah. 2233, I'm on 10 again. Okay, alright. Coming in, yeah. Flex, I just wanna win, yeah. LABB, who we running with, yeah. 2233, I'm on 10, yeah. Ay, coming in, yeah. Flex, I just wanna win, yeah. LABB, who we running with, yeah. 2233, I'm on 10 again, yeah. State your name, been dope on flame. I just switched the lanes. Damn, he did it again. I just flipped the pain. Stripping and dipping in bass, slab on everything. Swimming, you sinking away, cause I got big racks coming. I put my low racks on it. I ain't skip past losses, I had to get back off it. See the fit lab on it until they whip my coffin. Money clip, I tossed it, I heard it's big bags on big bags on big bags coming, coming in, yeah. Flex, I just wanna win, yeah. LABB, who we running with, yeah. 2233, I'm on 10 again. Pump up the action, I'm active. If he never heard of being dope, he just napping. Jackson's off the rapping. Keep it on my body, bitch, I'm broke if you asking. Don't gotta sell it, most of y'all is flawless. Broken whips as long as it is foreign. Heard you want it cause the yam's enormous. What's in since she isn't gorgeous? Live my life, last name of Morgan Freeman. Trying to touch a forest, do not know when knocking on the door is. Came in, I came in, did it like the Porsches. Coming in, yeah. Flex, I just wanna win, yeah. LABB, who we running with, yeah. 2233, I'm on 10 again. Okay, alright. Coming in, yeah. Flex, I just wanna win, yeah. LABB, who we running with, yeah. 2233, I'm on 10, yeah.
What's good? What's good?
What's good, bros? How y'all feeling?
Hey, man. What's going on? They thought it was going to be Oneil Parker tonight. That's what they thought, huh?
Fool!
Yeah.
Oh, man. We got one of the GOATs in the building, filling in for the man, Oneil. Man, shout out Oneil, man. He had a family time. You know, he definitely had support when his youngest. He had a celebration. So, you know, to make sure we, you know what I'm saying, honor our boy Oneil, man, we had to bring in one of the heavy hitters, man. We got Real Estate Video on today, man.
Absolutely.
I'm going to tell y'all one thing for sure, man. Two things for certain. This ain't my first time hosting, man. So, you know, I feel like I just came over my cousin's house and stuff, man.
Hey, kick your feet up, man. You know what I'm saying? Take the shoes off, put it on the coffee table, man. That's what it is over here.
back, man. I'm just back for a little bit, man. That's it, man.
That's it. Man, you want to give a quick introduction, man, of who you are for the people who may be living under a rock and may not know who the GOAT is, man?
Hey, man, listen, man. I appreciate that, man. It's Real Estate Ditty. Man, been in real estate now for the last 5 years, running the wholesale operation. We do a lot of fixing and flipping. Signals Guru, I got our core, acquisition course out right now. Man, and we teach people how to scale up to 6 figures, man. So I'm just a guy, man. I just love being here. I love serving the people. Real estate changed my life. When I first started, I never even thought about, being on, shit like this, man. So it's a blessing, man.
Absolutely. Well, man,
super dope.
We talking about it today, man. We talking about good marketing versus bad marketing. And a lot of folk don't know the difference. And a lot of folk start out bad marketing and be thinking that they kicking all kind of button if they doing good marketing.
That's tough.
You ever know somebody in that situation right there, Ditty?
I mean, I know myself from that situation.
Hey.
You know what I'm saying? So before I can even start, saying I know other people, I think I got to put it on the table. I was that guy at one point in time because you don't know what you don't know. You know what I mean? Sometimes you got to wing your way out of your situation. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
It's control, and you got to get to the place. You got to get to
that's 100.
And that's what we're going to talk about today, man. Because I know I've had my struggles with marketing, like where we didn't throw away a massive bag because we didn't know what we didn't know, right? And at the end of the day, it's funny because when you look at marketing on your balance sheet at the end of the day, at the end of the year, and you see that big old number, you get what I'm saying? And you realize that probably about 25-30% of it went in just trial and error because you just didn't know what you didn't know.
Facts.
You get what I'm saying? And so all it was a pivot cost where you just was doing something and realized, wait, it's time to switch to this new direction because this ain't it. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah,
we're gonna talk about all of that, man. Byron, you want to go ahead and do a quick introduction real quick and let folk know who may not know the space, you know what I'm saying, and where you're gonna be speaking from in terms of marketing?
Yeah, so my name is Byron Sellers. I'm one half of the Mobile Home Elite Investors, and with the space I'm in the mobile home manufactured home space and also mobile home park space. So coming from that, I see. I'm gonna really start today. I'm gonna talk about the bads, but I'm gonna give you guys some good marketing, so that way when you're out here looking to market mobile homes and market to find buyers, even market to to sellers to sell you their homes. We're gonna give tap in and give you some great strategies for the day.
Absolutely. And I would say I'm coming from the wholesale / creative finance space, as well as even some of the new construction fix and flip space. You know what I mean? And I'm gonna share again some of the good stuff that I learned right in that particular niche, right? And in the Texas market here, in our market. And and we're gonna talk about it. I'm gonna share the goods and what's working right now. So Ditty, what we gonna do, man?
Man, you know what? I was, I've been over here thinking of, a couple of different situations, man. You know what I mean? I want to, share, one of the times, man, that we had a bad direct mail campaign.
Ooh.
It was an epic failure. You know what I mean?
Wow.
And it wasn't just marketing; it was, market research.
Ooh.
You know what I mean? We didn't understand how to properly do market research, and it cost us, man. We send out like 40,000 mailers or something like that, man. And we didn't get no return in Atlanta, man, because all we did was we just went straight to the inner city, straight to Fulton County, and we sent out 40,000 mailers and didn't even realize that ain't where we really needed to be at. You know what I mean? We took an epic. I'm talking about a real L. I'm talking about no money. You know what I mean?
So let's talk about that. So you said you sent out all of those mailers, 40,000 mailers, right?
Yep. 40,000.
And so talk about Okay, why that mistake was made, you know what I'm saying? And what are some of the things you felt like if you knew in hindsight you would have corrected that mistake?
You know, when you're not really from Atlanta and you think about Atlanta, you know, you automatically start thinking about like Fulton County. You know what I mean? That's like the inner city of Atlanta. So
Mm-hmm.
for us, we're like, oh shit, it's Atlanta. I know we're gonna get some type of deal. We just go straight in there. But the whole time, it's like that's where everybody was hanging out. You know, it's like everybody went right and we went right instead of going left. You know what I mean? So what we learned is all the money was on the outskirts. You know what I mean? In different type of counties like Cherokee County. We're talking about DeKalb. We're talking about Cobb County. When we start going into those other counties, guess what? That's when we found our home and what we need to do. You know what I mean?
Wow. You know, it's
That's
funny. It's funny you say that. It's funny you say that because I know a lot of people, even when they invest in Houston, the first thing they think of is I'm finna go straight to Third Ward. I'm finna go to Fifth Ward. I'm finna go to Edo. I'm going to Second Ward. I'm going to where else you going in Houston? The Galleria area. I'm going to River Oaks. All that. That's where I'm finna market, right? And I'm finna go kill it. And what they don't realize is that, you know, after studying the market, right? Because, you know, I'm a data guy, so I study the market. I see what the ROI is. We literally don't market in those hot areas at all. We do JVs there. We do JV.
Right.
We would JV with you all day in those inner city markets, but we don't spend our money there too much. Now we did this year. We did decide to pivot, right, to do a little bit of marketing there. But again, the reason why we doing the marketing there is because I want to buy those properties, right? And I know other investors that are buddies of mine that want to buy those properties. So we're not marketing in those areas to make a wholesale profit per se. We marketing in those areas because we want to buy the properties. Because I know that the same amount of money, like let's say for instance, well, you know, once you dial in on your data, like we use Mamba CRM and we use an analytics package that come with the Mamba. And what it shows us is that, let's say, for instance, for every dollar that you spend on the outskirts, like what Ditty was talking about, like if I'm going to Texas City, if I'm going to Lamarck, if I'm going to Galveston, if I'm going to all these little outskirts cities around Houston, right? For every dollar that I spend in those markets, I got to spend about $5 in the middle of Houston. That's a fact.
The money on the outskirts to me, man. I mean, that's just my personal opinion. Most larger metropolitan cities, the money really be on the outskirts. You know what I
Facts.
mean? And I done seen that in multiple cities. You gotta, but if you don't do the correct market research, you're not gonna get the opportunity to be able to have the privilege to find that out. You know what I mean?
That's a
Fact.
You
fact.
really gotta study
That's a
the
big
last.
fact.
You really gotta be how I want to put this, you gotta be obsessed with figuring out what the last, for the last 6 months, how many cash sales has been in this area. And before you go into a market and get yourself in a deep hole, sometimes you got to compare multiple different markets together just to see who had the most cash transactions. So you got to be,
Ooh.
looking at it that deep.
Wow. So
He
Diddy,
just dropped some bars on y'all.
yeah. So talk about that real quick. You know what I mean? Talk about that whole searching for the cash buyers, looking for those specific niche areas where, where the marketing is like the most, where you're gonna get the highest ROI on your investment for the market.
Oh yeah, for sure, man. So for us, what we like to do is this, man. Like, okay, I'm gonna give a good example. I'm gonna give a great example, actually. So, all right, so we wanted to go into Charlotte, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which we are in that market right now. So we took Charlotte and then we took a city like Houston. And what we did was we pulled the top 5 hottest zip codes in both of those markets. And we wanted to see, well, actually the top 10. We took
Mm-hmm.
the top 10 zip codes in both of those markets, and we wanted to see, compare them together, who had the most cash transactions. So when we put the data together, we started looking at it like, damn, it's pretty close. It's almost even. So what we did was, because normally when we go into a newer market, we take the top 10 zip codes and then we start, pulling our list and doing some marketing towards them top 10 zip codes. But we took the five hottest out of Houston, and we did the 5 hottest out of Charlotte. And you see, you know what? For this quarter, because it really take 1 quarter for you to figure out if a market really hot or if it's not hot. If it's not hot.
Mm-hmm.
So guess what? We seen very, very quickly that both of them were similar. So we just kind of stayed in both of those markets. But typically we do the top 10 hottest zip codes. Then we start doing our marketing. But for these 2 markets, we did the top 5. Once we figured out we wanted to be there, that's when we started expanding out, and that was a big help for us.
Wow. Listen, if you ain't take that as no gym, then you sleep on yourself. You sleep on yourself.
He dropping bars, and I love the fact that how y'all talking about the data and things, and just kind of going over over the mobile. Well, I bet I had. I'm trying to get a calendar event out the way, but now going over the mobile home market. That's what all our properties are. You talk about outskirts, rural areas. So one thing I would say, when we start marketing, one mistake I made was our first home that we bought was an hour and a half outside of the city, right? But we were marketing to the city, and we was wondering like why we ain't getting no bites really, you know what I'm saying? And we didn't realize that we had to market within that suburb where our mobile homes live. And when we made that switch, I'm talking about over, you know what I'm saying? Because normally for us, a lot of that marketing is Facebook Marketplace, right? We go for our marketing is different. Like that's one mistake too. A lot of people making mobile homes is they think that they can go on Zillow and put their homes on there, and you know what I'm saying? But if I'm looking for most people that's on Zillow or Redfin, they looking for a house. Right, they looking for a house, and they see a mobile home, it's like nah, right, and that's why most realtors, even on MLS, when they see a mobile home, they're like, nah, what is this? Nah, I'm not doing this, right? So we had to go with the people who live in these communities, where they be at, you know what I'm saying? So that was a lot of mistakes I see people do is marketing on these larger channels, and it's like you're not gonna get that traffic. And then one thing I'm gonna say, the last thing I see a lot of mistakes people make is. Let's say I got a personal profile and I got 2,000 followers. Well, most of my 2,000 followers is most likely my friends. So me posting a mobile home on my personal page and putting all the numbers in the breakdown, they not my buyers, right? Yeah. That's not my friends, not my buyers. I've seen this even introduced. I've seen people put single family homes, you know what I'm saying? And I get it, it's a pride of, hey, this is what I'm doing. But like this, maybe they think that they marketing their house, but it's like, no, you're not. You just basically, you know what I'm saying, showing people what you're doing right now.
You marketing your brand.
Hey, yeah. Exactly, bro.
Barely.
So let me ask y'all this. Like, let me ask Byron, sellers. Let me ask you this. So, I know you reside in Chicago. Do you buy mobile homes in Chicago, or are you marketing out to out of state and stuff like that, or how does that work?
Yeah, so I have the beautiful thing. I have never bought a home in the Chicagoland area. All mobile home parks in the Chicagoland area are overpriced. It's not really no margins for us, right? Because the closer it is to the city, it is going to be higher price because you know what I'm saying, it's the affordability. But all my homes, like neighboring states, Indiana, also northern Illinois. Normally we what up, Oneil? We normally driving about an hour and a half outside of Chicago, and then for example, even our mobile home communities are in the Pittsburgh land area.
It's crazy. So tell me this. So out of all of the challenges, I guess that you've learned, what are some of the biggest mistakes you learned when you first got into it, and what were some of the misconceptions associated with that mistake, and how did you kind of like correct that after the fact?
Yeah, so when we first started, man, one thing I was looking at, when you looking at real estate, right? I would say this: I was a Redfin Zillow investor, right? I didn't have no access to MLS. I'm on YouTube University thinking I'm doing something, but when you seeing properties that need renovations, and you starting to see like, man, okay, you starting to kind of get the grass like that possibly need about a 75,000. Now that possibly need about 100,000. Then I go to these mobile homes that's trash, and I'm like, yo, hold up, this house only $1,000. Oh yeah, we gonna go ahead, let's get this boy, but not knowing like how we talk about market, right? So for example, some of some may not know, but Gary, Indiana. Gary, Indiana was Michael Jackson's birthplace, right? Gary, Indiana used to be back in the day a huge steel industry, right? Provided so many jobs. But when the steel industry left, it really depleted their market. So Gary, Indiana is a very poor area right now. So we were in Gary and we looking at mobile homes and they was $1,000, right? We like $2,000, but they were trash, right? And we thought, we thinking like, oh man, this ain't nothing. We can fix this up. Even we spend $10,000 on this, but we didn't realize is if I bought that mobile home for $2,000 and then I put $10,000 into it, right? In Gary, Indiana, I can't sell no mobile home for cash for over $12,000 because there ain't no cash buyers like that spending $12,000. And again, we talking about a small number compared to single family. They don't have that type of money, especially, and if they have that type of money, they're not looking to go live in a mobile home, right? So that was something that we had to learn, right? Also, it was predatory, park owners and park managers, right? We go into places and it's trash. And normally, like I know now, I wouldn't pay, but they like, yo, yeah, this mobile home, this is a good deal. This is $4,000. The mobile home needed $14,000 worth of work, and the average mobile home in that park was only selling for $10,000 to $12,000. So again, they just saw they saw a gullible, they saw kind of gullible and just like, we excited because that's what happens when most people that kind of go from single family home to mobile homes. You look at these mobile homes, you like, oh, what? This you talking about this? Oh, I could put in. And now they in there putting hardwood floors. They in there, you know what I'm saying? They in there trying to put, granite counters. They like, no, that's not, this ain't your customer, right? And you overdoing it. So, those mistakes, kind of helped us in not settling and continue to ask questions. And, that was, we dodged some bullets on that.
So Ditty, I want to pivot to Ditty real quick on this right here.
Yeah.
So you said that you've branched out to other markets, right? So you're in multiple markets now. So can you speak to, I guess, just the stuff that you got working in those other markets? So let's say, for instance, what's working and what was the mindset shift for you whenever you made that transition to say, you know what, I'm marketing in multiple different markets, because this market ain't got enough for me or this market ain't got enough for me. I need more. I want to expand my plate. What was the mindset and what was the stuff that you had that was working for you that made you feel like, you know what, we're on the right track?
I say this all the time, man. When we was, I'm in Huntsville, Alabama, right? Smaller market, population, maybe 200,000 or so, maybe a little bit over. And I'm gonna be honest, we was kind of nervous to hop in them big markets.
Straight up.
Because we was, excuse me, we had something called we had a little bit of stingy energy at first. You know what I mean? Because when you eating so much in the smaller markets, you the big shark in a small pond, or whatever you want to call it, or big fish in small pond. Them bigger markets didn't sound too interesting. Now, I'm going to tell you what changed. You start growing, you start maxing out on the market that you in, and you start hiring a team, and you realize you can't pay these people off these small-ass markets.
Ooh.
That was the issue.
Ooh.
The profit was the issue. So the first thing we did, we went from Huntsville, then we started expanding out to Birmingham. The problem we had with Birmingham, Alabama, the spreads at that time was too small. And we had to pay our team, and we really weren't making no money. So the best thing that we ever did, man, was 2.5 years ago, is to say, you know what? Enough is enough. We got to go for this shit. We're either going to go for it now, or we never going to go for it. And it was deeper than just going into a new market. I feel like it was a life. It was like a life hack. It was a life experience for us because the small, you delay your own blessings when you playing small.
Ooh.
So we want to sharp. We had to look at our marketing different. You know what I mean? Because it's so much competition, you have to sharpen up your sales skills now. When you put that marketing out there, you got to have people on the back end, to make sure that you converting that marketing, or you marketing. A lot of people market for no reason because they don't even got people who can convert the marketing. So once we went to ATL, the first thing we did was take a loss. The first 2-3 months, we didn't make no money. We wanted to quit. But I always remember somebody was telling me, like, listen, you got to stay in the market for at least 1 quarter for you know if it worked. And next thing you know, guess what? We start going crazy in that market. Then we say, you know what? I'm not really the biggest fan of Birmingham. Let's see if we can go into Houston or Charlotte. That's when we did that. No, let me back up. We went to Tampa after Atlanta. Epic fail.
Nice.
No deals.
Ooh.
Wow.
We spent thousands and thousands, over $10,000 on marketing to get no deals.
Damn.
Wow.
Guess what? Now we back to the drawing board. Do we supposed to stop now? Do we supposed to not go into another market? At first, you start feeling that way. But then at some point, you got to realize that, you know, for the best man to get a touchdown, you got to take a hit.
Hey.
You know? A lot of people, they don't want
Ditty got bars.
you know, they don't want to continuously, you know, go through the process because they're going to take a hit. You know, I don't care what, how to prepare for that hit. So that's when we did the market research we was talking about. We got educated on how to go into a market. We went into Tampa, we didn't know what we was doing. Atlanta, we didn't know what we was doing. But once it was time for Houston and Charlotte, we knew we was looking for, okay, we want 500,000 population and up. You know what I mean? We want to pull it by county. We want to make sure that we want to check the cash transactions. Where's jumping at? I want to go where the party at, man.
Hey.
You know? Go where's Mardi Gras at? And the shit just going down.
Let's get it.
Start sharpening your skills, you know, and then you game time, man. So I don't even look at competition no more. When you understand how to market correctly, you know, we do something called we got progressive and primitive. You know what I mean? 1 week we only do a certain amount of marketing. You know, we may go all out 1 week. We might do a little bit direct mail. We might do a whole lot of cold calling. Shit, we might put out some, you know, banner signs. We might put out some neighborhood signs. We might drop the RVMs, the voice Bs. You know, when we ain't really doing text blasts no more. But you know, we used to do a lot of text blasts. So we may go all out 1 week. The very next week, that's the primitive week, meaning that we doing a lot of following up from the marketing that we did the previous week. But we still do certain channels like cold calling. That's automatic, right? You may do text blasts. I mean not text blasts, but RVMs. That's automatic, no matter what week it is. So you gotta. A lot of people don't understand how to market. They don't know what you're supposed to do this week or what you're supposed to do that week. So it get kind of deep. I know. Byron investor understand what I'm saying.
Hey, you preaching to the soul. Hey,
he dropping bars, bro.
Hey, listen, this is that kind of information you pay for. You see what I'm saying? Because guess what? A lot of
dollars.
And let me explain why though. See, this is the thing. Ditty, how much you said that you spent in Tampa and made no money?
Bro, we spent over 10 G's. Easy, bro. We didn't make no money. I'm telling you, we paying for boots on the ground, everything. No money. None. No deals.
And see, and this is the reason why when you go to those gurus, they want to charge you. Because guess what? After Ditty spent that 10 bands in that same market, right? He found out what don't work. And see, what people don't understand is what don't work is sometimes more valuable than what do work. Now, you make more money on what do work, but finding out what don't work, let me tell you something. When I tell you that's why it's good to have friendships, right? Because guess what? Right here on this particular podcast, I just learned something. I found out that if I go to Atlanta, I don't need to go inside of the center of Atlanta. I need to go to the outskirts. Now, I got confirmation bias because it's the same way in Houston. It's no different because we don't do a lot of heavy marketing in the Houston market directly. And the reason why we don't is because we've learned that we can get a high ROI for our time and our investment on the outskirts. And we're going to get big spreads. Now, the crazy thing is, on the outskirts of Houston, you can sometimes get the same kind of spreads that you're going to get on the inside of Houston. Now, make that make sense. Now, you would think, okay, wait a minute. I'm in the middle of Houston, right? I should be able to, because the properties are hotter, they're going to move faster. Yeah, they're going to move faster. But at the same time, the seller's a lot more savvy. You're dealing with a lot more savvier investor, right? So you're going to be doing a ton of follow-up before you lock this deal up. That's time, right? So when you look at your business, you have to look at it like on a conveyor belt, right? So it's on a conveyor belt. So you don't want to be in a market where A, it's going to take too much time to lock up a deal. 2, it's going to exhaust your employees to the point to where they don't want to be dealing with them crazy people negotiate with them, right? Because they're going to get fatigued fast, right? And at the end of the day, you're going to get the same amount of money when it's all said and done. I just said something. Listen.
You got to hit the horn.
I just said something. Listen, you're going to get the same amount of money. Your spread, yeah, you may get maybe a little bit bigger spread, but it ain't going to be that much bigger. Not enough to justify the 8 to 9 to 10 follow-ups you're going to have to do to get that one deal, opposed to if you go to these little smaller towns, they are happy to receive your call because they're not getting as many calls from you as everybody else. That is the difference. That is the key difference. So I just want to make sure that people fully understand how that process works. Now, here's another thing, Byron, that I've learned. Also, whenever you get that deal, whenever you get that marketing popping, you got to make sure that your people are converters. That's another piece.
Talk about that.
So here's the deal. Now, a lot of times when you go into a new market or when you go into a market in general, right? You're gonna have to find out. It's a couple things. You want to know what's going on in that market. What kind of culture you dealing with in that market. Not that matters all of the time, but it matters sometime because you're gonna have to understand the nuances of that particular market. And then you also gonna have to make sure that your people, the people that you have on them phones, can close in that particular market, right? And so what we try to do is another thing that matters in marketing, and these are things that you learn once you start running a business. Every single component in your business it's almost like it works like a chain on a bike, right? It works like a chain on a bike. So if you can imagine a chain on a bike going around, right? And what you want to look for is the clogs in that chain, right? Because if you are marketing your money, right, and you're locking up properties, let's say you're converting them at anywhere about 12 to 15%, right? You need for that deal to go from that marketing channel to your acquisition manager, converting at about 10 to 12, maybe even 15, 16%, and then you want that thing to go to that dispositions department, and then you want to be able to send that property out, and you want to sell that property within that less than 30 days. You want to have an interested buyer for that property in less than 30 days, right? And then all of these little pieces from the transaction piece, after they go to transaction, you want them to make sure there's no title issues going on, and they can be battling out those title issues all at the same time. And then from that piece, you want to come back around back to your marketing. And the way all of these things talk to each other is very important, because if you miss a clog in that wheel and it clogs up any part of that business, then you're going to have deficiencies and cash flow issues.
Ooh.
You're running the cash flow issues. And a lot of people don't recognize these as cash flow issues. They just look at it like it's a slowdown in the business. No, it's a slowdown. It's a clog in your leadership. It's a clog in your ability to guide your people in the right direction.
Facts.
It's a clog.
Facts,
it's a clog in your ability to recognize to recognize these patterns, and that's why tracking your KPIs, understanding those things are hypercritical. And whenever you get ready to to level up in your business. So I just wanted to make sure I added that little piece in there.
Bro, you dropped some serious game, bro, because I think if you listening right now and you really hear what Byron talking about, even if you just starting out from the beginning, that's the part of scaling your business. And and I love, Byron, how you talked about just the chain reference, right? And everybody know, right? That bike, when you riding that bike and that chain snatch, well, that thing can throw you off the bike, right? You literally can take a bad spill. And that's the part of your business, what he's talking about, right? You don't want that. You want all those things operating. So, man, bro, like I hope y'all really took in what Byron was talking about, right? And honestly, go back and rewatch this, because Ditty was dropping gems, right? Byron dropping gems. And we talk about, just to kind of pivot over, in the mobile home market, when we talk about good marketing, right? In the mobile home market, for one thing I'll tell people is you have to do market research. But here's the thing about market research in the mobile home market. It's still very prehistoric. It's not a lot of tools out there that the market offers, right? And so it takes people like us to continue to get this market up to speed with technology. So here's a tool. Write this down. One tool that I really see to make sure that I know I'm investing in a good community. I'm going to see where that community is at. So bestplaces.net, bestplaces.net. You go on bestplaces.net. What I'm looking for is I want to see if the population is at least over 75,000 upwards, right? 100,000 is perfect. I'm looking to see one key thing. I'm looking to see my competition. I need to see if the average house is at least selling for $100,000. If the houses are selling for less than $100,000, if the house is selling for $65,000, that's what I'm competing with. Because why would you go buy a mobile home when you go get a $65,000 house or $75,000 house? You got more likely to get approved for that. So when I see that home, if I see the market has $250,000 houses and plus, I know. Guess what? Because here's the thing. When I was poor, I wanted to live near rich people, right? So anytime that I see that the houses are selling over 100, and if I see anything 150 plus, I know there's a demand in that area. Also, best places let me know what the economy, what type of jobs is there. I'm going to economy, right? So I know my audience. I know a lot of times I'm servicing retail workers, right? I'm servicing more so blue collar jobs, right? I've noticed if I see factories, I want to know that. I need to know who are the major employers. If that city only has one major employer, right? Just one major employer. To think about it, I'm looking to flip houses in that market. The reason why is because I don't want long term. Because if I have somebody on payments, if that company go belly up, then that goes the workforce right there. And a lot of times that goes my clientele. So that's one thing I really, we really look at. So when we talk about marketing, once I get those key things, right, I'm gonna give y'all some gems on here. So again, where's my audience at? They on apps like OfferUp, Let Go, right? They on Facebook Marketplace. They not going to the normal place I'm talking about when we going to houses. So what do? I can take out Facebook ads because I can target them, right? But just be careful. Facebook is supposed to be kind of taking away some of that targeting, but they're gonna roll something out, special for it. I'm in those groups. I'm going to these, anything that say buy, sell, trade. Let's say it's Birmingham, Alabama. I'm gonna get in every buy, sell, trade, flea market, houses for sale. I'm gonna get in every one of those groups, and then I'm gonna blast out my material. I'm gonna make sure my content is A1, right? I got quality pictures, and then I'm gonna make sure I got a link so they can fill out and get, so I can collect data from people. Right, I want to get data from people. I need to know, man, what's your name, your email, how much you make, what's your credit score. I need all of this data, right? And then Byron talked about, right, Mamba CRM system. Man, I'm talking about a fire way for you to definitely, scale your business, because now when you getting these leads in, you got a system to filter these things out, right? So when you talk about marketing, if you are precise, I could do for sale signs, right? I could do bandit signs. I can post on, my social media channels, but I got to be very specific. I got to know where my people is going, right? And so that's one key thing. And then you got to talk to the park manager. You got to go talk to the community, get out there. Ask questions, talk to the park man. Hey, are you guys getting a lot of cash buyers? Make a deal with them. One key marketing thing I'm telling people is you talk to a park manager, listen, they just get a salary. You come in there and tell them, listen, I get finder's fees. If you help me sell my house, I'm gonna give you $500. I'm gonna give you $1,000. They hear that. They don't get paid for selling their houses. Now, guess what they're doing? They are eager to help you. Hey, what's up? I got another house. And that's the contact. And so the biggest thing in this game, what I love about mobile home investing, if you set up the bait, if you able to, you want to create a buyer's list by collecting that data and flooding all those, and then you get all that information in your CRM system, every house that you buy, guess what you're doing? You flooding it. You as soon as you get a house, you flooding the areas, you flooding the people who say they want a 2-bedroom, 2-bath, and you got a 2-bedroom, 2-bath. You know what I'm saying? And now follow up is key. That's why you got your CRM system. And if it's not you can definitely hire some VAs to do the close. You know what I'm saying, to do the closing for you.
Wow. Wow. Yo. I mean, what's going on tonight, man? Y'all feeling real generous tonight, man. What's going on, man?
Hey man, why not, man? We missed last week, didn't we? We had missed last week, so we got to come back and give him some fire, man.
I think Ditty did muted his mic. Let me see. You got to unmute yourself, Ditty. Yeah, man. So here's the deal, though. Yeah, you got to unmute, Ditty. I think you muted yourself. So yeah, so here's the deal, man. What I'm excited about, man, is just the golly, man. I've learned something tonight. Like I've legit learned something tonight. I think Ditty having some issues with the. Okay, there we go. Okay, there he is. Okay, we back. You back with us, Ditty? Yeah. The thing about it, man, is marketing is the lifeline of every single business, hands down, easy. You know what I mean? And so understanding those concepts, man, is critical to your growth. You know what I mean? And I'm just excited, man. I ain't gonna even lie to you. I'm excited about just putting some of these plays into action, man. Byron, you want to speak to that?
Yeah, man. So one thing, I've been blessed again to have my great friend Byron, to really expose me to systems and really becoming, just scaling your business. And one of the first things I heard Byron really talk about was just the traction, right? Traction and we talk about the KPIs and things. And so one thing, putting those things to use, we talk about CRM systems. And that's one way to really scale your business, right? I think a lot of times we kind of get caught up in what we can do, but a CRM, I think you got to use technology, right? You talk about artificial intelligence, things that's able to take these keywords and be able to, pick up and then, send the information out, receive information, organize your data, because that stuff can get overwhelming. When we started, we was using spreadsheets. We was mainly using spreadsheets to put in all the data, right? And that took time. But when you're talking about scaling and really leveraging technology for your business, like, beautiful thing about Byron, that system is going to help us even in the buying mobile home communities, right? Same thing that Ditty was dropping as far as the tools Byron was dropping on how to market. Same thing in the commercial space. It's the same thing and definitely utilizing these tools for success, because when you use technology, you can move faster, right? Make more money, you know what I'm saying? And you be way more efficient.
Hey, Ditty, I wanted to ask you too, man. When you're looking at like the conversion rates, when you're looking at how you are converting your marketing into actual money, like what kind of people on your team are you looking for? Can you speak to that piece a little bit?
Man, so you gotta listen. It's two different. Basically, okay, let's specifically talk about wholesaling, especially a sales and marketing company. At the end of the day, so you really can't have one without the other, because you can have the greatest marketing techniques in the world, but if you don't got the correct salespeople to be able to close the deals that you're getting in from the excellent marketing that you may be doing, you're still not gonna grow as a company. So you got to make sure that along with putting out that great marketing, gotta have them trained killers. You gotta have them trained killers to do what they're supposed to do. Wasting your time, and a lot of
Straight.
these people are wasting their time. You know what I mean? You gotta know. You gotta know. Listen, it's no matter what, man. You gotta know what you're doing. For example, I'm gonna give you an example real quick, right? All right. Let's say you want to do a direct mail campaign, right? The younger me, I would have just blasted out the list, just like I did in ATL. 40,000 records. It don't even matter. We're going to hit who we hit. But now, me at this point right now, guess what I'm going to do? We're going to stack up the list. We're going to stack the list and try to find multiple motivations, so we only mailing out to the most motivated list. A lot of people don't understand that. You know what I mean? That's a real gem right there. That's a real gem right there, stacking those lists up. You know what I mean? You may want to stack the
Facts.
list up, and you may not even want to mail the list. You say, you know what? We want to double down on the cold calling on this specific list that's so niche. They got so many different motivations, we want to dub down on this list this week. I guarantee you're gonna end up putting your teeth on something. I don't know what it's gonna be. It's gonna be
something coming out of it.
Something coming out of it. You know what I mean?
Wow. Whole bars, man. Whole bars. And that just kind of remind me, man, of I was just talking about that conveyor belt in the company, man. Making sure that you have every single component, man, working correctly, man, is the lifeline of your business, man. Having them systems in place, man. I'm telling you, if you want to lose some money real quick, don't have your systems together and you start marketing it on a consistent basis and see what happens.
Listen,
facts.
Real estate by itself, it changed my life, right? Changed my life. But when you're talking about them systems, that saved my life.
Ooh.
You know what I'm saying? It's a difference.
It's a difference.
Real estate changed my life because it allowed me to be able to, make a certain amount of revenue consistently. But why I say systems save my life is because guess what? When you put in so much work and you just, just getting a deal here and there, or you just shooting for everything, guess what? You spend a lot of time doing that shit. But once you put them systems in place, now you're able to delegate correctly. If you don't know correctly put them systems in place, guess what? You're never going to be able to get out your business. You're going to be stuck. You think your job was tough. Well, won't you be a real working ass entrepreneur? You fuck around and lose your family, bro. Like I don't know what might happen to you.
Bro, it's tough, man. You talk the burnout. That burnout is real, man. And what you talk, here's the thing. That's when you lose the love for what you do. You lose the love for the game. But the systems keep you in the game because you understand the value of it. And you know what I'm saying? From there, bro, it's only up from there. You're going to keep on just investing in better and better systems and better people.
Bro, I'm so happy you said that, man. It's like, listen, without the systems keep you in the game. Because you're going to burn out, man. I don't care. You're going to run up a bag, but you're going to eventually have to go sit down somewhere. You know what I'm saying? And when you go sit down somewhere with our systems, your business going to sit down with you too.
Facts.
That's tough, man. Hey, you know what, Byron? Both y'all really. I don't know one big dog in this industry who ain't burned out and had to get that in place.
Hey,
I just thought about that. I don't know nobody.
It's impossible. It's impossible. Because imagine right now, Ditty, you would be getting a phone call from a seller right now talking about You be getting a call from a buyer right now talking about, man, can I come see the house right now tonight?
Man, that's embarrassing, man.
You had to play it off like, that's a money call.
That's a money call. Like, I'll be right back. I'll be right back.
I used to be at events and had to say, hold on, I got to step in the hallway. I'm taking, but you got to do what you got to do.
Absolutely.
My problem is when you don't get, and the topic we're talking about tonight, we've been talking about marketing. What we're saying is you have to get the systems in place to be able to market right. I'm telling you, it's not, I'm telling you, and you got to be doing multiple, listen, don't just get caught up on the technology part, RVMs, or people just cold calling. We literally get ready to close a deal on Friday. I went to go take a look on the house. We did not win the bid. We bid it lower than the other parties. But the house next door was vacant. I skip-traced that house. I called the homeowner. And we get ready to close on it this Friday. And we just did that last Friday.
Let's get it.
Hey.
You don't never know. You never know what'll happen, man. You never know what happens.
Hey, keep shooting. He kept shooting, man. You never stop shooting, man. And that's what Ditty is showing y'all, man. Bro, y'all know this was a fire episode, man. This is always dope to do with my brothers, man. We had a special, and honestly, Ditty a guest, but he really, he really the fourth member to the band.
Yeah, man. Just drop on in, man.
He the fourth member of the band. You know what I'm saying? So you already know, man. Byron dropping gems. Ditty, we truly appreciate y'all. Listen, I'm gonna leave y'all with. We gotta leave you guys with this, man. everything that we talked about is all about application. You can get all this information and you can get your mind blown as much as you want to, but it's not until you start taking action is when you begin getting the results. And here's the thing, you are going to fail and it's okay, but it's about the momentum. It's about keeping it going. That's what's going to definitely keep you and propel you. Everybody you see on here, we made mistakes. Ditty talks about his costly mistakes. Byron talks about his mistakes. I made mistakes. And those mistakes molded us to be prepared for this moment. Y'all, take on this week. It's Wednesday. We cannot wait to see you. Have a blessed rest of your week, man. Until next time. Salute.
100, man. Appreciate y'all, man.